Shut up and sit down.
Hello everyone, and welcome into a read out short clip here. This is from our latest episode. Hope you enjoy. Go ahead and skip into our rankings for this week, which are extremely exciting. All three of us are huge fans of Big Red. I think I've told my Big Red story on here.
Yes, you have, yes.
So I'm not going to repeat that. But we're going to rank our favorite non-Western, so no Big Reds, mascot. Let's let Jared go first since he's our guest. Mm-hmm. Jared, go ahead and name your top 5 non-Western mascots.
All right. I mean, I had the 4 pretty solid, but as far as the 5, I mean, see, the way I view things is that honestly, all the other Division I mascots just don't really matter to me, like in the slightest. Because I mean, Big Red is on such a tier above every single one of them that he makes them look just that irrelevant and basic, which I find incredible. Always.
So you're calling
in no particular order. I know what my number 1 is. I really like the St. Louis Billiken. Okay. It's very intriguing. It's slightly disturbing, but I mean, you know what? It's a mascot for sure. I mean, nobody really knows. Like, not many people knows what a Billiken really is, anyways. But I would have that up there. I would have the Providence Friar. That's another interesting one, like the whole Catholicism thing, I think, and that thing looks really creepy as well.
It's definitely creepy.
It's pretty creepy.
That would be that would be number 2, I guess. But the number 1, I have to completely go outside of Division I. I have to go to the NJCAA, junior college, to Scottsdale Community College. The Fighting Artichokes.
That's right.
Yes.
The GOAT. Outside of Big Red, that is. But that is the most interesting mascot, not just because it's literally a giant artichoke, but the story behind it is even funnier. I want you guys to get this. This is great. It says that in the early part of the college's history that there was some unrest or whatever with a lot of the students between the administration, that they were funneling too much money into their sports teams and not enough for like their basic academic stuff, which is kind of weak. I mean, whatever.
Whatever.
But the student body was asked to vote on a new mascot and different cool school colors and stuff for the football team. So the majority of the students voted for the Fighting Artichokes and chose the team colors as pink and white just as an embarrassment. That's how mad they were. Like, oh, screw you, we're going to make our mascot an artichoke. We're going to be a joke. But of course the administration's like, screw your democracy, we're not giving you that. So they kept the mascot that they had. But eventually they got to have another election, and they were able to actually get Artie the Artichoke to become their mascot. And since then, it's become like as beloved as Big Red is to us over there. And I found that beautiful.
That is amazing.
They invented it to be an embarrassment to their school, and it turned out to be like the icon of their school.
I love that story. That is awesome, though. And I think that's every school's gripe, is that the school puts too much money into athletics and not enough into education. But at the same time, athletics is advertising for your educational departments.
Yeah, it's free advertisement, basically. I mean, going to the NCAA tournament and stuff, you're getting all this national attention, people filling out brackets. I don't know what the actual number of people that fill out brackets is, but they're all going to see your school's name filling out a bracket. So,
absolutely.
And the deeper and the more Cinderella story you get, Chicago Loyola, right there. I never knew the nun's name. I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Sister Jean.
Sister Jean. Yes, Sister Jean is the greatest story ever. And by the way, greatest fake Twitter I've ever seen.
Sister Jean, that was so good.
Shannon the Dude from Louisville is awesome as far as that goes. Jake, you want to take yours?
Yeah, so I have some. I think one of mine is Division I. Like one. So first you have the Gooey Ducks.
The Gooey Ducks.
The Fighting Gooey Ducks of Evergreen State College. Or Evergreen State College. No clue where it is. Has to be, I think, West Coast, because that's where these things are. Do you know what a Gooey Duck is?
I have no idea what a Gooey Duck is.
It's a giant, gnarly, like, schlong-looking clam.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Okay.
It's like a clam that has this long piece of meat hanging out of it.
Me as the fat kid is thinking that was some kind of dish.
Yeah, they do eat them. They are a delicacy in the Eastern world. Whatever, the grosser it is, the more delicacy it is.
Yeah.
So that's the Gooey Ducks. Weird colors, like green and stuff. Looks like a Pokemon. It's crazy.
Okay.
The next one is Keggy the Keg.
Okay.
Now, also, some of these aren't the official mascots. They're just like the ones the students have like built, and it's like theirs. So Dartmouth doesn't have an official mascot.
Okay.
So the students came up with it, and it's Keggy the Keg, and he's literally just a keg of beer. And they have a full suit that goes to all the games. It's awesome.
That is almost as bad as Murray's fake mascot a few weeks
fake,
back,
that was good.
where the dude bought it from Amazon.
That was pretty funny. Yes. I said this one like it's metal and stuff. Like it's awesome looking. Leave it to the nerds at Dartmouth to build something cool. Then I've got the University of California Santa Cruz banana slugs.
Yeah, I've heard of the banana slugs.
That's pretty popular.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty neat. There's one Aberdeen College in Washington has Charlie the Choker, and it is so. And Jerry, you probably saw this because if you're thinking about if you saw my number one, it was probably on the same list. That's the one that's coming up. But Charlie the Choker is just this big buff, like Indian, like Native American looking dude. But he's got like a rope.
It's the most racist thing I've ever heard.
It's not like a noose. It's supposed to be like a choker necklace.
Yeah.
But it legit looks like they're like hanging an Indian in effigy, and it is so funny that still exists.
They get mad about the Cleveland Indians, but they don't get mad about Charlie the Choker.
There's like 17 people that know who Charlie the Choker is.
That's true. Until now. Now there are
right.
more.
Now there's a bunch more. Go get them. And leave Chief Wahoo alone. Dang
yes.
It. And finally, my favorite one, it could be no other, is from the Rhode Island School of Design. Scrody.
Scrody, yes.
Scrody is a giant...
Yes, we'll just leave it to your imagination.
Yeah.
So that we can keep our G rating here on iTunes, we'll keep it that way.
Let's just say that the rounder parts of Scrody happen to be the color blue.
Yep, yeah.
And the rest of him, the vertical part, happens to be veiny and red.
Yeah, like you would picture.
It is exactly what you would think.
The only thing that I think is more funnier is that he has a Superman symbol across.
He does have a Superman symbol for Scrody. Yes.
Shaft.
Chest. Yes, that's what. Yes.
So that's the
Scrody. He's my favorite. He's the best. And if him and Big Red get into a dance off on Sports Center, that would be great.
Oh my God! What if Big Red put him in his mouth? That would be the worst thing I've ever heard.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'll fall out of this chair. Oh God. Turn your headphones down for that one, guys.
Yes, please turn that off. Okay, so these are in no particular order. I do have a story with my last one. Okay, so my first one would have to be the Georgia Bulldog.
Okay, yeah, I like
Uga is he's of course I love bulldogs, and another one is the Fighting Okra from Delta State. If you haven't seen it, look it up because it's like you just go Fighting Okra.
That would be a good fight between the artichoke and that.
Tasty.
Yes.
Fry them both. They're good.
Yes. And then, of course, I love TCU just because they're such underdogs. So the Super Frog from TCU.
It's a cool-looking mascot. It's
He is kind of cool.
Like cartoony-looking.
Yeah, kind of super villain-esque.
But with anime eyes.
Yeah, with anime eyes. My number 2, I guess, would be Chief Osceola from Florida State.
Yes.
You gotta love that the dude, of course, they have permission from the Seminole tribe, but he rides out on the field with the war spear or whatever you call it.
Whatever it is.
And he stabs it into the field, and he does this thing, and he rides back, and I'm like, that is so awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
As a child, I grew up loving Bobby Bowden.
Yep.
Which I still love the dude. He's awesome. And I love Florida State. Of course, when he left, I kind of jumped off the bandwagon. But, and then, of course, my last one is Mike the LSU Tiger.
Because
when Western played LSU back in the day, when Jared was in middle school, we...
probably, to be honest.
Probably
I think I was in high school.
Oh, my God, dude. God, y'all make me old.
We played them in 2015. That was probably the most recent.
That was the most recent. Okay.
That's my senior year.
Oh, my God. I feel so old. Okay, so... It wasn't that time. It was the time before, which was...
That. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, see, that was probably 10 or 11 maybe. I know Matt probably remembers, but anyway, you go on the field, Mike the Tiger has his own enclosure at Louisiana State, LSU. Anyway, he's got his own enclosure. They put the cage up to the opening. They open it. They don't coax him in. They don't force him in. They just let him decide if he wants to come in. So we're like, oh, this is awesome. The story's great. They bring him in. They circle the field. They park him right next to the visiting locker room as an intimidation. I loved it because I love tigers. I think they're so cool.
They are cool.
So of course, I'm walking over and I'm making pictures. He's got a double cage so that his claws can't get through and scratch somebody.
If you're stupid enough to get close.
Yes. Of course, they wanted to make a picture of Big Red with Mike the Tiger, and the handlers said absolutely not.
Because he might freak him out.
No, because Red incites Mike the Tiger.
Oh, okay. Good
So
to know.
they were like, that's not going to happen. So the funny story is, and I know Matt remembers the guy, he was a defensive line coach at Western. His name is Eric Mathis. He's still around somewhere. He was walking back and forth. Every time he would walk by, the Tiger just eyed him up. And then he would walk back by, and the Tiger would just, I mean, you know, you got 70,000, 80,000 people in that stadium, and he's just eyeing up this 6 foot, 200, 300-pound black dude.
He's a big
just
snap.
eyeing him up. And the funniest thing, I went up to the Coach Mathis because he was pretty cool, and he's intimidating, but he was cool. And I said, the Tiger is eyeing you up every time you walk by. And he says, without missing a beat, he goes, yeah, he probably thinks I'm a water buffalo. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is the greatest thing. But
He thinks I'm a water buffalo.
yeah, he's like, yeah, he probably thinks I'm a water buffalo. And he just walks off.
I don't know if tigers eat water buffalo. Do tigers eat water buffalo?
I don't know if there's water buffaloes in
I don't know.
India or wherever they are. But yes, Mike the Tiger is my top non-Western because nobody can beat Big Red.
No one can beat Big Red.
No. And I had to explain to my little brother who's in college today, which he won't listen to this. But anyway, that Mike the Tiger, or not Mike the Tiger, Big Red is the spirit of Western. Him and his girlfriend are like, it's a blob. Who knows what it is? And I'm like, you shut your mouth when you're talking
Shut
to
your
me.
dirty mouth.
So
Yeah,
frustrating.
my dad was actually at the game that Big Red made his debut, and I'm still really jealous about
That's
that.
pretty wild.
That is awesome.
That's
that
pretty
was
wild.
in 72-ish, right?
Yeah, somewhere around that.
Somewhere
He
in the
said that
70s,
he's in like this giant box at half court, and then he came out of that or something like that.
Yes, Santa Claus presented him. We did a piece
I
last
remember
year.
that.
Yeah, we'll have to put the clip out there.
Yeah, we should.
With Big Red was a present from Santa Claus, and he was made, and that suit is hot. For people who don't
It
know,
was just like carpet, the old one was.
but the
Yeah.
new one's basically carpet too. I mean,
That's
it's not
true.
really anything.
Just a little more advanced carpet. But it's
I
still
mean-
probably hotter than New Love in there.
Let me tell you. Of course, they would get it at the managers. Yeah, Sammy's grumbling. The managers would get it, and then the athletics department would come get it. They dry clean it, make sure it's clean and everything for the next
Yeah.
event. But like I went back there. Of course, they were like, "Oh yeah, the suit's back there." So I went back there and I was going to mess with it. I was going to put it on,
Yeah.
walk around in it, be a goofball.
Yeah.
I pick up the suit and it's soaking wet,
Oh,
and it's sweat. Yeah, and I was like, nope. So the only thing I did, I put the gloves on, and I put the top of the head on, and I like popped around the corner, just so
Yeah.
his head looked like he was
goofy,
looking.
yeah.
Yes, but yeah, love Big Red. He's the greatest ever.
yep.
Yeah, I do want to say this too. Like, I went to the NCAA Hall of Champions up in Indianapolis, where like the main NCAA headquarters is and everything. They have this really cool public exhibit with all these different college sports things, and there's an entire section of wall that's dedicated to Big Red, pretty much talking about the history of it, and it also includes to recently the campaign that Western funded to get a new suit that raised over $7,000, which is that's so cool to be able to go in there, like the epicenter of where the NCAA is located, and be able to see like the history of your school's mascot. That's really neat.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, you went there to complain, but yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
You had to complain to the NCAA president. Yeah,
Absolutely.
there you go. Well,
WKU's chosen son.
yes,
Going to fight the
yes.
good fight.
Jared Rostusher is going to fight the good fight for us.
They don't want none.
That's right, son. Go get him.
Say it with your chest.
See, I would go in there and ask for them to take the asterisk away with the Final Four 71 team.
Yes.
Because, I mean, now that's legal, because apparently now you can get an agent without
Exactly.
and still be able to come back. So, I mean,
I agree, and that's kind of like with criminal law and stuff like that, right? If something is
Sponge it.
changed, if it's changed, then the person can get out of jail time if the law changes, correct?
Depends on the state, but yeah.
Well, it depends on, the laws in the state and everything.
But yeah.
But yeah,
Don't
I
you love that's my
completely
lawyer
agree.
answer. It depends.
Yeah, this depends. Hope you enjoyed the clip from our latest episode. Subscribe for our weekly Read Out podcast. And always remember, go Tops.